To operate this is like the best
We're
part.
live, Chris.
We were live?
We are
Oh my
live.
gosh.
I think we're live.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Most Accurate Podcast. I am your host, Jennifer Akins. I'm joined by my friend and former co-host of this very podcast. I hope, Chris, that you, the 444 couch over there, you found your little butt grooves back from when you used to be here. Because we miss you. But Chris is now the content coordinator and fantasy analyst for
Something
Fantasy
like that.
Life. Yes.
I write stuff and
Well,
I
you
say
have a
stuff.
title. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, fantasy analyst and content coordinator. I'm dual hatting over at Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life, and yes, like the butt grooves are still here.
Nice.
You
We miss
know,
you.
like I still found like some of my like old and horrific takes like hiding in between some of the couch cushions. There's probably some old clips of me rambling for like 10 minutes. That was the time frame that you said I'd be going like before we started recording. I mean, all that stuff is still here. So I'm so glad that you invited me back. I terribly miss like all of you guys that are still here at 444. Like I know there's been some like people come in, people go, but it's like but the fun never stops. Like
No,
over
we're
at
all still a
444.
family, no matter what, right?
100%. So yeah, like it's not, it ain't no thing for me to come back and kick it with you for an
No, I'm
hour, an hour and a half,
excited.
or however long this draft is going to take.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say this: Chris and I have drafted a lot over the years. Maybe not together, but maybe against each other, I guess.
I don't think we
And
ever drafted against each other. I don't think
yes, all those
so.
staff drafts. That's what the
Oh
point I was getting to
yeah.
is that the algorithm for you and I means we are probably going to be in spot 10, 11, 12, maybe 9, right? I mean, that's kind
100%.
of right. So that was what I was getting at. You and I have
Yeah.
drafted a lot. We always kind of end up in the same spot. So yeah, we're going to should we drop in now?
Yeah.
Let's
Are
see
we
here.
doing this? Are you driving like one draft? Or are we both drafting individually?
Oh, I was thinking one draft. Do you want to do
Okay.
two? Two
No, no,
two
no.
seems too complex. I think
Yeah,
we
I'll
should
be.
draft.
Can I be the passenger princess like on this one?
Yeah. We'll draft
Yeah.
together, and then if
All
we
right.
win, we split whatever we make.
Oh, it's
Are
like
you
we're gonna
good with
split
that?
like what is it like $1.5 million? Like
Yeah,
what?
I was just gonna say yes. This year, we are at 15 million in total prizes for Best Ball Mania 5. Top prize is 1.5 million, and then I believe it's a much flatter pay structure this year, so it goes all the way down farther. More money is dispersed.
Yeah.
So yeah, you and I will just split whatever. You know, when we win the 1.5 from this May 3rd draft, we will we'll split it. All right, I'm gonna
750K like pre-tax. I mean,
yeah.
I'll take that.
I
I
mean, all
appreciate
day.
it. Yeah.
All right, I am going to attempt. Let's see here. To present. And we're also, by the way, before we do this, we are giving away a Scott Fishbowl entry into Scott Fishbowl 14. I think we're going to have everyone that wants to be involved in the entry kind of give us your best pick. Is it as we go along after? I don't know. We'll figure that out, I guess. What do you
Yeah,
think, Chris?
I'll take constructive criticism because as you point out, Jen, like neither of us have drafted yet. Like I've got I've got takes on everything. If y'all have read my work before, like whether while I was here, whether I was at like any of the stops like along the way, like throughout my career, like y'all know I got takes. But if y'all have like what was our best take or what was our best pick, like what you would have done differently, that would actually be like a good critique of the draft. Like I'll take anything and I'll say like, hey, that person knows what they're talking about. They know ball. Give them a SFB invite.
Okay, can you see my screen?
No, I cannot.
Why is it not? Shoot. It shows it down here.
Wait.
Oh, there we go.
Wait.
I think Addison might have stepped in there and helped out because it wasn't working. All right, so we are chilling right now. We are waiting. Oh, we're waiting for 10 people, so we may wait a minute.
Okay.
But
so how have you been, Jen? How did the like Super Bowl go for you? How's the off season like so far gone for you? What do you think
It's
about
been
the draft?
busy, man. Busy. It was, I will say last season, Super Bowl wise, all of that, it was a really good season for me. Personally, from a winning perspective, it was my best season on Underdog by far. I actually had to get a tax form for the first time, so that was exciting.
Go ahead. That's what's up.
Yeah,
okay.
That was exciting. But yeah, it was a good season overall. This season, as I feel like every year, the off season is shorter and shorter. I don't think there really was one. I feel like this year we kind of went right into
No.
working. I've been working a lot, which is not so fun this time of year. I feel like we used to get, I mean, in this business, this is my 9th season at 444.
Yeah.
We used to get, January, because, in redraft wise, we're done week 17.
Right.
DFS goes all the way through, but and betting and all that, but we're done week 17. So I used to be able to take off until free agency in March, but that doesn't happen anymore. So
Yeah.
it's been busy. It's been fun. I'm excited that the draft is over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember, it's my least favorite part of the NFL cycle.
Oh yeah,
So
I can
I'm
understand that.
stoked. I'm stoked that that's done. I'm glad that we actually have spots for these rookies and we can talk about real things as opposed to hypothetical.
Yes.
That's always good. So yeah, I'm ready to kind of, and I like there's also a little lull that we get after this until camp start and all the other fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what are we? We're waiting on 6 more people. So this year I feel like I don't know how are you? I know you haven't done one yet, but are you usually in these best ball drafts? I can't remember if you're more of a anchor RB, zero RB, or are you go with the flow? I can't remember what your standard draft strategy is.
What's the age-old adage? Like be like water in
Yeah,
drafts, and that is typically the way that I try and approach drafting, because it's you can try. I think you can accomplish any draft strategy from any position, but will you really be able to harness some of the value, or are you foregoing some value by doing some of that? So let's say on the extreme end, let's say if you were a zero RB only drafter, and that's all you ever did, zero RB. I'm not drafting a running back until, like, insert whatever round fits your definition of zero RB best. But you got the 101. So you're going to pass up Christian McCaffrey because you sit in that zero RB role, and there's never, like, there's just no, you have no flexibility.
yeah,
That's all you're going to do is you're going to continue to draft wide receivers. So whatever the wide receiver one, I believe this year is CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, like whatever your
yeah,
flavor is, like for that, like it doesn't matter. But like that would be one of those places where, like, you have to challenge, like, your own process. So you have to challenge the way that you go about, like, picking players. And almost the same thing if you go, like, on the flip side. Like, are you more of a anchor RB only type of player? But let's say, again, you get in the 103, 104 spot, like where it's Justin Jefferson, if you still like him this year with JJ McCarthy or Sam Darnold, or if it's Amon-Ra St. Brown now, who was like the highest, or no, did he, like, now he is like the highest paid, like, wide receiver, like in the league. I believe so. Either way, it's like Justin Jefferson, or like Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow coming back. That'd be my personal pick. Cincinnati, what's going on? But like that's where I don't try and adhere to any specific, like, draft model. It's more about, like, I don't really, like, hone in on a draft strategy until I get out of, like, the like two like first like 2 or 3 rounds, where it's like, let's see what ADP gives us. Let's see if there's anybody that slips. Let's see anybody I can get some really good value on. Let's see, like, what I can find, and then afterwards start to mold a draft strategy, like, off of that. Because really, like, the only thing that matters, I would say, not the only thing that matters, but those first like 2 picks, like, those are the guys. Like, if you just look at average fantasy points, either it's like PPR points per game, or, well, since we're playing, like, on Underdog right now, so it's God's game, it's half point PPR.
yeah,
But even still, if you look at, like, first, second, third round, like, average points per game that's accrued by any of the skill positions, I mean, the first round is going to be your best round for finding a guy that's going to get you the most points, because it's the best players up there, right? It's Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and of course it drops off tremendously as you go on throughout the draft. So I don't think any draft strategy pigeonholes you into, like, or like forces, like, you should force a draft strategy on there, because it's like, I'm just going to try and get a guy that scores a lot of points for the first couple of picks. Like, that's what I'm really looking for. And then afterwards, it's like, okay, well, now that I've got a couple of guys. Let's say I went, I don't know, Justin Jefferson and Drake London, like right off the rip. I don't know if, like, by ADP, if that would ever work out, but just, like,
yeah.
put your skates on and roll with me for a second. Like, if I wind up with those 2 guys, like, right off the bat, then it's like, oh, okay, liking the value here. let's see if I can do some sort of zero RB type of build based off these solid wide receivers that I already have like in the first couple of rounds. And then if you do the inverse of that, let's say if you start off with, I don't know, like CMC and like, I don't know, like Saquon Barkley or something like that. Well, it's like, okay, well, now I've got two solid RBs. Maybe I go like wide receiver heavy afterwards. Maybe I even like lean into it a bit further and starts to look at what quarterback might be available in the third round. It's just, again, it's more about trying to accrue value. It's more about trying to accrue the high end players that are going to help you win your weeks in the first like 2 to 3 rounds for me personally. And then afterward, it's like, okay, well, now based off the players that I've got, how do I kind of like crunch this into like some sort of draft strategy? How do I mold this into like, what's my plan going to be in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, all the way up until round 18?
Yeah, I will say from what I've seen so far, these underdog drafts are super wide receiver heavy from the start. I actually dipped my toe into the DraftKings best ball yesterday and did a quick one, and it was not the same. I mean, it was, as we know, they are different. They're different managers in each, different drafters.
Sure.
It was kind of crazy. It was very, very different. Quarterbacks went much quicker in DraftKings, and it was more evenly distributed with the running back, wide receivers. These have been kind of all very, from what I've seen in the few that I've done between the big board and the BBM, very, very wide receiver heavy at the start of the draft. I think a lot of people are kind of going with a later RB strategy. And there's, usually we have more rookies that we like later on in the draft. This year, there's not as many, but there are some that can give us value down the stretch, as we all know, as rookie running backs tend to come on later. We only have one person left, so hopefully someone fills in here and we can get rolling.
See, if you need somebody to vamp and just kill time before a draft starts, that's my skill set.
Oh, absolutely.
That's me.
I know. That's why I brought you on here. So I had to do as little as possible. I'm joking. That is not why I have you on here. I missed you, Chris. I missed your face. I'm glad that we're here.
Missed your face too. Where's Brandon at in order to really bring home the nostalgia?
I know. Brandon is not here.
He's off being a family man, like raising monsters.
Yeah, he's got 2 little girls that he wanted to spend more time with, and I guess
What's that about?
I know, right?
Really?
No, he also had I guess he volunteered. He's like on the board of the preschool situation, which
that seems like a Brandon thing.
Yeah,
so all love to Mr. Niles.
And he said it's basically like a full-time job. All right, we are good here, and as predicted, we are in the 111. As I said, we were going to get
you called it. I
said we would get 9, 10, or 11.
You really called it.
I have been 9 or 11 in every draft. Underdog algorithm just likes to put me there at the end. So I will say, for me, when I am in this spot, I usually go wide receiver heavy off the rip, but we will see kind of how the board falls to us. But yeah, so we are in the 11, which means, as we scroll down, we're looking into the AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, possibly Gibbs if we want to go that route. How do you feel about Marvin Harrison with an ADP of 13?
Gosh, that feels aggressive,
right?
Like it feels like, okay, I say that, and then it's like at
the
Luis
same time, is in the mix. Look at that. Hi, Luis. Go ahead, Chris.
Escalante.
I'm sorry.
But
I think it's aggressive, and I think it's a tad high myself as well.
It's aggressive, but I understand at the same time, because it's like you're banking on this rookie coming in and like really like hitting in terms of being like the top 12 wide receiver off the bat, but at the same time he is one of the best prospects to come out. Like, since like if you talk about any of the wide receiver prospects from like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and all that, like skill set, collegiate production, all that ranks so much more like higher than them. Dwayne McFarland, one of our director of analytics over at Fantasy Life, his like wide receiver rookie model has him like over any of those prospects that we've been like so hyped about like over the past like 4 or 5 years in terms of what Marvin Harrison can do. And then of course like Harrison like falls into like such a great situation. There's like almost no competition for targets, has a solid quarterback in Kyler Murray. We saw at least shades of him being at least shades of Kyler Murray being that quarterback we expected him to be like when he came back from injury last year. So it's like I see the idea like on one hand of like Marvin Harrison being like the primary like wide receiver one like for the Cardinals this season. And then I completely understand. But then the same time, like on the other side of my brain, I'm just like, well, it's a rookie wide receiver. Like, you know, like is there any chance that it takes a second in order to acclimate to NFL speed, like all this other stuff where things that might not even matter. We just care about volume. And if he gets that volume and continues to produce like he did, like coming out of college, then I mean, it's completely in the range of outcomes for him like this season. So
yeah, I mean, we also need Kyler to kind of get back to prior Kyler.
Yeah.
In order
Which
to
is
make that happen.
I mean, which is possible. It definitely looked like he was on his way to being that guy towards the back end of last season.
All right, so we are up next. Of our options here at 11, depending on what this person in front of us does, I'm guessing it's going to be Puka or Wilson. I don't know though. Yeah. And so far the board is pretty chalky. So he went with Puka. How do you feel? Do you feel like we should go Wilson? We just talked about Harrison. I mean, personally, I would prefer Wilson, but I do love a Jahmyr Gibbs. He may actually make it back to us, maybe not. All right, so you're good with Wilson?
100% in on Wilson. I actually like that offense. Like, while I don't like my feelings about Aaron Rodgers, the person, we'll just go ahead. That's a whole other podcast. So we'll just set that aside for right now.
Yes. And we could probably talk for the same amount of time
as
this podcast.
But Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, with him being on the field in that offense, Garrett Wilson.
We're up again. Hold on.
25%
Hold that
thought.
Share.
Love it.
Okay. So, what just happened? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. I just clicked on my other draft. That was weird. I was like, what? Okay, we're back. How do you feel? Do you want to double up on wide receiver and go London, or would you rather go? I'm going to give you the call here.
I wouldn't mind Chris Olave there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I would not mind Mr.
Oh,
Olave.
We got Barkley.
Oh, we got Saquon Barkley.
Our first auto of the draft. Okay. This is the downside of Chris talking a lot, is that we skipped over our spot.
You were on a different draft. Like, how is it my fault this time?
I'm going to close that draft so that I don't end up there again.
You're the one that's over here just like multi-table drafting over here.
I was like,
but yet
why?
It's my fault that
I was very confused at how who the ADP where we were. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Spent half the clock looking at a completely different draft. Like, I come on this draft, so y'all get like, check this out. Like, we spent weeks planning this. Okay, I want the people in the chat to understand this. Spent weeks planning this draft, and then we finally get to do this here. And I take time out of my day in order to do this, and she's doing other stuff like while we're trying to talk.
Okay,
I mean, seriously, like what is going on here? Like,
let's focus again here, Christopher, and not
I am distraught
for clicking on the wrong tab.
Hurt.
I have closed that tab. We are now solely focused on this draft. Okay, let's regroup, because now we have Saquon Barkley, who is on the Eagles now. And that is my first share of Barkley. I don't absolutely hate it. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world that could happen to us. Yeah.
No, not the worst thing. Like, I could make the case for, like, I'm not in on HM like at that cost. Jonathan Taylor had some potential there. Kyron Williams, I do have some concerns about them drafting Blake Corum, so it's like it's not the worst. But I do have a couple, and the wide receivers that were there, I do think had a better shot at returning value.
Yes, in a world where we were drafting normal, I would never have taken Saquon there. So we're both on the same page. It's not quite a Mike Gesicki situation from 2023. Was that 20? That was 2022.
Bringing up old stuff for. Oh my God.
But we listen. It happens. We have to roll with it. And
actually, now I am the Hayden Hurst guy over at Fantasy Life.
Are you?
I got flambéed yesterday by Ian Hartitz and Dwayne McFarland for suggesting Hayden Hurst could be a late round tight end.
There's always someone every year that
I lock onto these guys, and it's just like, this could be a good idea, and then I wind up losing a lot of money on it like afterwards, and so it never winds up working out for me the way that I think it's going to.
Okay.
So yeah,
it is what it is. So let's kind of, I mean, obviously we still have picks to go. We still have
Yes.
almost an entire round
So
to
now,
go.
so I'll ask you. So what are you
Yes.
thinking now? Like after this auto pick, because this is a legitimate thing for drafters. Like if your internet,
Yeah.
like like futzes out or whatever, and you can't connect, and you wind up making a mistake. How would you address this mistake? Like something that you didn't plan on doing. You wanted a wide receiver. You wanted to go back to back wide receiver. You wind up with a running back by accident. How would you address this mistake?
I would address it by probably pivoting to an anchor RB strategy. We don't need a running back now for a while because I feel like we're approaching the point where they really, if we look at kind of the running backs, um, we're going to wait, right? I mean, I feel like our
Mm-hmm.
next two picks are going to be of the pass catching variety, regardless of kind of where they come from. That's at least what I would do. I mean, we are sharing this draft, so we are
Yeah.
clearly together here. But if I was on my own, I'd be like, all right, so we have Barkley. I'm
Mm-hmm.
now going to pivot and take pass catchers for a bit, and then dip back into those zero RB guys, the later round guys that are going to hit, like the Zamir Whites and guys like that. That we
Mm-hmm.
kind of. All right, we are coming up in 4 picks,
Okay.
so if we just single these guys out, of these guys that are here, of the, we've got Neighbors, Metcalf, Smith, Cup, Flowers. I'll do this, throw Laporta in there too. If,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm totally down with Laporta as well,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in the 3rd round. How do you feel about, okay, Laporta just went.
Okay.
Do you have a preference over these guys that are still here? Or,
I'd probably go Smith Cup, like
okay,
if we could.
I agree. Neighbors is not someone I'm interested in
Yeah.
this high either. So Smith Cup, I'm going to do this so that we don't get screwed. Learn my lesson in time
Understood.
one.
Understood.
All right, they're both here.
Okay.
So
Now,
wait, what do we have? Let's see. We have Barkley. So do we want to go with a Philly situation here and go with Smith, or do
right,
we
and we
want to
just lost out
diverse?
on we just lost out on Hurts.
We did.
So
So should we diversify and go Cup, or do
yeah,
you
and then we
still?
can maybe work towards like having the Stafford as our QB2.
Okay, I like that.
Don't mind
Okay.
it. Don't mind it.
Okay, we are up now though in 2 picks. So
Okay.
I guess we could technically take Devonta if he's still there again.
Sure.
I don't think he will be, but you never know. I don't hate Zay Flowers. I think he's not someone that he was. He had his moments last year, and I feel like. Let's see here. Okay. All right, we are up again.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a Kelsey person this time this season, or
I
are
would.
we?
I guess if we're leaning into the pass catcher bit, like I wouldn't mind taking Tank Dell here.
Or we can go with someone like ETN. Uh, uh, he makes me a little nervous.
Or Kelsey.
So, or Kelsey.
I say go Kelsey.
All right, I'm in.
Let's make it
That way,
happen.
we are absolutely good with tight end, and we don't have to worry about that for quite some time.
Yeah.
All right, so
Scoop up
we
some value
have.
there.
Yeah, we did. Well, he's right at ADP,
Yeah,
but
right.
actually, we're
Yeah.
pretty much right at ADP for every single pick we have so far. Of course,
Huh.
Olave would have been a little bit early
Mm-hmm.
had I was able to pull the trigger there. But yeah, our team right now is interesting. I don't hate it at all. I feel like we can, like you said, we can do a couple things. We can go with Stafford. We could go with Aaron Rodgers if we end up, on going that route later,
Right.
with some Mike Williams or something like that. We can kind of wait and see. Uh,
A double stack with Matthew Stafford and then say like Demarcus Robinson like very late. He is
mhm.
a late round like wide receiver that I'm digging. Yeah, I did a write up on D Rob for the Fantasy Life newsletter like earlier this week, and his fantasy point of finishes over the back end of the season were we're fairly consistent. Target share was one of the best. Like I think he was actually like over Cooper Cup in terms of targets per route run. I mean, and you already know that with like the Rams, they run through wide receiver sets at one of the highest in the league, like over 90%. So it's like he's going to be out there running routes. Like I think they're kind of over the Tutu Atwell experiment.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be like Puka, Cup, D-Rob, that's going to be out there like on the majority of the snaps, like having him like taking Demarcus Robinson, like while he has been just like a throwaway wide receiver when he was in Kansas City, and I think he was over in Baltimore for a season too. It's like I do like Demarcus Robinson as a late round wide receiver. So just thinking about that as a guy we can look at like very late in the draft.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't dislike that at all. I know that. I mean, we're looking at. I know our old co-host Brandon Niles was very anti Tyler Higbee.
Yes, yeah.
He's a rough one. We talk about him a lot as we get farther down in the season, but he is an option as because he probably will. People will fade him, and we'll have to. And we have Kelsey, so we clearly don't have to worry about it for quite a while. So we probably won't.
I mean,
we'll probably end up. Yeah.
I think he snapped his ACL like in the playoffs, so it's like the
Yeah.
latest of the late for you to have an injury that's going to require at minimum 10 months to get past. So you're drafting him hoping he comes back and winds up returning to the route rate that he had, because he's been top 10 amongst all tight ends in route rate over the last like 3 seasons, especially with Zach Robinson as their pass game coordinator, and then their OC, not OC. Yeah, he was their pass game coordinator for a hot second before moving over to Atlanta this past off season. So yeah, I think they do
have Colby Parkinson, so we could throw him in round 20 or round 18.
That'd be interesting. Oh yeah, this former Seattle dude, if I remember right. Yeah. Okay.
So all right, we are 7 picks away, which is plenty, but
what are the quarterbacks looking like? What we looking at?
Let's see here. Let me go back to QBs.
If we want to even taking.
We got Burrow, Murray, Dak, Jordan Love, Caleb Williams. I mean, there's plenty of if we want to go with, obviously a QB1 ahead of our Stafford. I'm going to put Stafford in there right now. Obviously, we're not going to take him right now, but
I've done that before where I've started a guy
I have too.
and then wind up taking him like 8 rounds.
No, I've absolutely done that too. Clearly, that's how we got Barkley, because we had nothing in there. All right, but we are 4 away, so we can your old boy Joe Mixon is there. All right, let's take out tight end, because we don't want that. Why won't it there? No. All right, forget it. Yeah, we're having user error right now. All right, I would like to take. All right, we are actually up in 1. How do you feel about the pass catchers that are there? Do you like rookie Rome Odunze, Jaden Reed, Terry? We got Worthy, or we can, like you said, we can go a little. We got to go because I don't want to get Stafford, so we need to make a choice here.
Jaden Reed, I think, sticks out to me like in this group.
I took him yesterday, and I'm good with that. Let's just do that so that we can. Okay, and then
on the
wrap.
I would personally and this sounds Dalton Kincaid, but we don't really have the any of the Bengals wide receivers. So taking and it's probably a little early for Burrow at this point. Yeah, because I mean, if you're sitting there on the back end of the draft, you don't know how ADP is going to shake out for the onesies. Onesie position, so we can see what we can maybe address quarterback on the next rollout.
I mean, do we want to go with like a Kamara or an Aaron Jones, or do we want to keep piling on some pass catchers here?
I'm fine with continuing to pile on pass catchers if that was the strategy we were going with, taking Saquon early. So
okay, we got 10 seconds.
Give me a Dunze.
Okay, that's actually what I was going to either say, a Dunze or Terry. Yeah, obviously the
because we provide ourselves some insulation from a Dunze, taking at least some time to get acclimated to the NFL, working behind Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, finding out what Caleb Williams looks like. So if we have 3 solid starters to start off the season, we can maybe pick up some of that value from a Dunze. We can, because I think the trend is that typically rookie wide receivers, they tend to pick up in terms of yards per route run, targets per route run, after the bye week is typically the cutoff point, or towards the back half of the season when we start to see them really pick up. And so if that's the case, then we can at least bank on the 3 wide receivers holding us for the earlier parts of the season, and then a Dunze picking up towards the back end.
And what I also kind of like, we do have Reed and a Dunze. We may see some good Bears Packers
Yeah,
high
some
scoring
trade-offs there.
games. We
Yeah, I
could
dig
see
it.
some good high
Yeah.
scoring spike week games from those guys.
Shoot, actually,
I
now that we've done that, why not star Jordan Love as the guy to stack with them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did say or at least I said that in my mind. I don't know. I guess I didn't, but I'm down with
We'll
that.
see how quarterback shakes out a little bit. Love Jordan Love and like the efficiency, like especially with
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur as the play caller. My only concern with Jaden Reed is his lack of snaps, like when they switch to two wide receiver sets. Matt LaFleur, like in the same vein as I don't know, Sean McVay doesn't do it as much, but like some of the other like play callers that are in that cadre of play callers, Mike McDaniels and all those other guys, like Matt LaFleur does use two tight end sets at a fairly high rate relative to the rest of the league. And when they do shift to two wide receiver sets, like Jaden Reed does not play. Like it is it's Christian
Watson.
Williams Watson. Oh
Watson. Yeah.
gosh, yeah, it's new. It starts with a W. It's Romeo Dobbs and actually Dontavian Wicks like saw some work
Hmm.
in two wide receiver sets as well. So actually Wicks would be another guy to stack
Yeah, I was
with
just gonna
Jordan
say
Love.
the thing with Love, if we get it, there's a ton of options, and then you also have
Yeah.
two tight end options that we can grab later in
Hmm.
Kraft and Musgrave.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I think that would be actually a solid move in terms of double stacking Jordan Love, because at least with Love, the expectation isn't that he's going to be a high rushing quarterback. He does scramble a little bit, but not as mobile as like some of the other guys that are potentially going to go before
right.
him.
All right.
So
Well, we are 3 picks away. If we that's literally 4 picks above 80 or before ADP, which is completely fine with me.
yeah,
If we go with Love, we could wait because the guy next to us already has a quarterback, so
yeah,
there's that option. If we want to wait, I doubt he's going to grab Love. Who does he have?
yeah,
He has Lamar. He's not taking Love. So
yeah. Good
let's
play.
uh let's do that. And do we let ooh, I love me some Zamir White, you know that.
You've loved him since they drafted him. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
that's gonna be our pick, and I'm gonna call that because well, I've given you almost every pick, so we're gonna I'm taking him.
That's my
Um
750K on the line. Oh my gosh, you're gonna completely take this pick from me? Oh my
I sure am.
y'all
I'm the
see how she's
host.
doing me here? Like first she's multi-tabling and barely paying attention to me while
Listen,
I'm
if
on stage.
are you anti Zamir?
Not anti-Samir. I think I'm just anti-Raiders.
Would you rather take Christian Watson here?
No,
And
absolutely not. Like Zamir White, I
or
think
would you
well,
rather take Ramondre or Najee? No, right?
I would prefer Ramondre, but
Really?
if Zamir is your dude, take your dude.
Yeah, I'm going to. I love him, you know
Take your
that.
dude. I'm
And I
not gonna
and I
argue.
get being anti-Raider. It's brutal for me. We've got Zamir and we have Brock Bowers, or two of my favorite players,
Yeah.
and they're both on the freaking Raiders. Um, but all right, so we will take Love here because, as predicted, he did not take a quarterback.
Let's
All right,
go.
let's
Not so
go.
bad. Not so
All
bad.
right,
So we
moving around here. Who do we want? Okay, so we're looking good. We've got a 1-2-4-1 build. Uh, after the eighth.
Mhm.
I don't dislike any of this, other than Barkley. We talked about.
But that's
um,
we're building around it. We're
yes,
building
and I
around the
think
Barkley pick.
we've got some good. We've got some young upside. We have one rookie so far, which is good. We've got old in Travis
Mhm.
Kelsey, and then we've got some guys in the middle of the pack. So I'm
Yeah, like fairly solid at each position. Although
yeah,
I will ask you this. So
yes,
we waited until the 8th round. Jordan Love is our quarterback one.
he
How do
is.
you feel about a 3 quarterback build, like based off of like having Jordan Love as the guy that we picked?
Yes, I like it. I think if you're gonna forego the top 2 tiers, which we kind of did, I think you
Mhm.
kinda have to go with a 3. I think we
Yeah,
take
that's
Stafford,
okay.
and then we
Glad we talked about it then.
right. We could grab Gardner Minshew. I'm just kidding. I know you don't want him or any
No,
Raider,
actually, that's
clearly.
that's like I'm anti-Raider in the sense that like the whole franchise doesn't like their draft didn't make any sense to me. It's like you already had Michael Mayer on the rosters.
Yeah.
Like why did you take Brock Bauer? Like I don't
They took
understand.
best player available. That's
Like,
just they
like
at least
I
from
don't get
what
it.
no, I know, and from what the GM, I remember his statements after were we need playmakers and he's one. And I get that in theory. He's different than Meyer. Meyer is more of a blocker. Brock is not. He's smaller. He doesn't block as well, but he's ridiculous as far as his.
I guess it's
So
just I don't know, but
we'll see.
this is me like little like fantasy writer that like stares at spreadsheets primarily in order to generate fantasy content. Like I'm the lowest of the low when it comes to critiquing what people do that have like $1 million ramifications for a $1 billion franchise. Like so that's just me like like was armchair quarterbacking a pick that doesn't make sense in my head, but
no, I listen. I understand. I feel like the pick is justifiable a little bit based on what I said. I think there are some picks out there that the Michael Penix pick.
Yeah.
Tough to justify that one as far as I'm concerned. But
Brock
Bowers is just ridiculous.
That's a whole other podcast. Like we just did a whole other podcast to talk about.
But I think with Brock Bowers, I think you have a guy that is going to make things happen regardless of who else is on the field. And I think he'll be fine, whether it's Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. I think it will be Minshew, but who knows?
Yeah. Which then justifies taking a guy like Gardner Minshew.
Right. And I think the fantasy community was disappointed. They were looking for a Sam Laporta tight end 1 situation. And we're not going to get that from Bowers, but I think we're going to get a tight end 12, 13. I think we're going to get a fringe fantasy tight end 1 season out of him. I do.
Here's hoping.
I think people were disappointed because they thought, okay, here's another year where we're going to get a tight end 1. All right, let's get back to what we're doing here.
Strategize. Let's get some strategery.
Let's strategery it up. Like I said, we're at a 1-2-4-1 build right now. We can really kind of go in any direction. We are in the 9th. Let's see, what pick are we? 107.
Okay, so we're thinking running back, wide receiver, like somewhere in here. Okay,
yeah.
Let's isolate.
I don't think we need. Yeah, we don't need to take a tight end yet, as we do have Kelsey. So we have Mostert, who, he's got a chain, and now a rookie there, a very fast rookie too.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams is an interesting pick. In that Detroit did not draft anybody to really compete with him. So he's kind of interesting. I like Trey Benson too later on in the season. I mean, we only have 2 running backs. Like I would prefer Trey Benson as like an RB4, but
no issues there.
And Eckler and Robinson. We have Mike Williams. We have Wilson. We can, excuse me, add that if we wanted.
No, they took Jameson.
They sure did.
They heard us talking.
We can take Dobbs or Mike Williams as far as stacks go, or we can take Benson, Robinson, Singletary.
Let's go. Okay, Benson, I dig.
Okay, let's just do that for now in case we get screwed. Okay.
Yep. And then scroll. What do you think about Khalil Shakir?
I like Khalil Shakir. Okay. I like Keon Coleman too, but
now is that more for Keon Coleman's quotes or his actual on-field skill set?
Both. We're gonna get Benson. We just got Benson, so I'm fine with that.
Awesome.
I think, I mean, James Conner is the lead back. We know that, but I think Benson's going to have plenty of opportunity, and I think he's going to be really good down the stretch for some good spike weeks. So I'm down with that. We're up in 1 more pick, so I'm okay with Shakir if you want to go that route.
I wouldn't mind it. I do have some reservations about why he hasn't been more of a high end target.
Do you like him over Dobbs? Let me ask you that.
I do like him.
Okay. Then let's just take Shakir and be done with it, and we can discuss. Shakir. I mean, listen, Shakir should be really good in the middle of the field. I mean, he's going to compete a little bit with Dalton Kincaid there, but I think Coleman will be on the outside with Samuel, and so I like Shakir. I mean, let's be real. He's our wide receiver 5, so I think that's fine, right?
Yeah. And if we were talking earlier about wide receivers, in the same vein, we were talking about Rome Odunze taking some time to get acclimated to playing in the NFL. Do the same thing for Keon Coleman, which then means that there should be some more opportunities for a guy like Khalil Shakir earlier in the season. And we'll see what the target share winds up shaking out once the Bills figure out what their passing game pecking order is going to look like.
So Sam, what you talking about here? He gave us an all cap what? I don't know.
Maybe it was I said something stupid, which is entirely possible.
It was probably me, or maybe he didn't like our pick. But if you could type in the chat what made you give us an all cap what, so we know how we offended you, or maybe it was a good what. Who knows? All right, so we are in round 10. I
We
guess for
strategering
the
now?
what?
Are we going to strategery now, or are we going to give it a second?
We're going to give it a second. I was going to talk about the Scott Fishbowl entry here because we still have to
Yeah.
do that. Bowers fringe tight end once. Okay, I don't know what that means. Maybe he doesn't think that Bowers can be a fringe tight end one. I mean a fantasy tight end one, not the tight end one. So maybe that changes things for you. But I was talking like tight end 12, 13 is kind of where I was going with that. Okay, so yeah, as far as the Scott Fishbowl entry, I mean, I guess at the end, we'll just have people say their favorite pick if they want to be their favorite pick of ours, I guess, while Chris wraps it up. And then I'll do a randomizer and we will pick from the people that would like to be entered. And by the way, I will say this before we start to strategize for the next round. According to Scott, you have to be registered at scottfishbowl.com in order to win. So if you win and you're not registered and you're not eligible, then it won't count. So if you're not, quickly run over to scottfishbowl.com, fill it out, make sure you're good to go. Oh, so you agree. Okay, Sam, that was all cool. All right. So yes, make sure you're at scottfishbowl.com, register so you have a chance to win entry to the Scott Fishbowl. All right, let's start to strategize because we are coming up ish. Let me
What do you think? Maybe QB2? Maybe?
Stafford. It's a little early, but we don't want to lose him.
That's true.
Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I think we can lay off wide receiver for a bit. We do have 5. And let's see real quick if God, TJ Hawkinson.
Very interesting.
What were you going to say?
Romeo Doubs is still available.
That is interesting. I wonder why he's falling so much.
I doubt he'll make it to us, but I mean, that would be like,
I mean, that would just, that's an easy click. Nope. Yeah. There he goes. Okay, but TJ Hawkinson, I mean, I'm not talking about drafting him, but just in general, I feel like he's such a value. Like, I get that he's hurt and he's not going to be back for however many weeks, but at this point in the draft, you're in the 11th round. Like, I just feel like he's a value. All right. What are we thinking Stafford here now that we're in this position?
I wouldn't mind that. Because you think we should lay off like wide receiver, I guess.
Or do we wait because the guy next to us already has 2? So let's take something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's look at Josh Palmer.
Yeah, I don't hate Josh Palmer. I think he,
another guy that's going to get easy targets.
Yeah, I mean, I love Ladd McConkey, but I feel like or do we want another running back? We only have 3. I mean, Charbonnet, I think, is not an awful pick here based on potential volume there. I mean, he started to come on at the end of last year.
What about Zeke?
I don't have any Zeke. Let's just do it because why not, right? We're already mildly off the rails with Barkley. Let's just go Zeke.
Let's just let's keep the old running backs.
Because at the same time, like, Zeke is Zeke, but he showed some pep last year. He actually put up some really good fantasy weeks. And I mean, Rico Dowdle, really? Like, are we concerned about that?
Not Rico slightly.
I mean, listen, I'm talking as our RB4, right? So that's where I'm talking with Zeke. I'm not concerned. I feel like he's still going to get the volume to put up RB4 numbers, I guess was my point.
Yeah.
All right, we're taking Stafford here, right? No more, there's no discussion.
No fussing around. No fussing around. We're gonna do it.
All right, then I will just. Well, I'm not gonna make everyone wait 30 seconds, so I will pick him right away. Okay. I'm laughing, but I'm kind of into Zeke right now, just because I don't know that.
Why?
I don't know if I'll take him that many times this summer, so I'm kind of excited that we did it, or maybe I will.
What's not to like about what's not like about Zeke's situation?
Okay, right? No, you're right. His situation is good. It's very good.
I mean, we've got one of the top scoring offenses in the league, like throughout the regular season, like almost back-to-back years. I mean, we like Dak Prescott. We love CeeDee Lamb. We love the fact that this offense can generate high-end efficiency. That we should put Zeke in the situation where he is the guy that's going to be banging in touchdowns. I mean, that was his role, like when he was on the way out of Dallas. That was his part of his role before he wound up taking over the job for Ramondre Stevenson when he was in New England, and that's still going to be his role once he gets back here. He's going to be used in the situations that are most conducive to fantasy, like for a running back. And if we're going to be able to get him at this price, what do we get? We got him in the 11th round.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm looking last year real quick at his. I mean, he averaged 7.3
What's
half
up to like?
PPR. I'm sorry, that was actually standard. I didn't even filter.
What's up to like?
So yeah, I think
Like he's not going to get like 70% of the team's like rushing attempts or anything like that. I would probably put him at like 55 or something like that. But are most of those going to be those green zone touches, like those inside the 10 touches, since he has the frame, the frame to do it as compared to Rico Dottle and Deuce Vaughn? Yes. So at 11th round cost, yeah, I would do that.
I forgot about Deuce Vaughn until right now.
Yeah, like the 5'5" $160, scat back.
Yeah,
But I think that is also somewhat of a concern, because if now we're taking away not just the like he'll get the early down work, like that, I don't think that is much of a contention. But then if Rico Dottle takes some of the 2-minute stuff, and then if they try and like sprinkle in some Deuce Vaughn, like in like obvious passing situations, 2-minute as well, then it's like now we're really like, just taking like bits and pieces away like from Zeke's like complete workload, which is something of a concern. But again, if he's still the guy that's going to be like banging in the touchdowns, then I'm cool with that.
All right, so I'm going to switch back to this format real quick so we can kind of assess what we have. So we're looking at 2, 4, 5, 1. We are in the 13th round. We just made the turn here. So I think we're looking pretty good. We're going to grab another quarterback late. We need to grab a tight end.
I'm still not mad at that. Mad at the idea of taking like Gardner Minshew. I want to make that clear.
Okay, good, because I'm not either. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is actually still there, but we don't want to take him anytime soon. All right, so I'm definitely going to put Gardner in here, but we are making sure we're not going to take him until we need to take him at the end. Let's look at the tight ends real quick. We could make a even larger stack and go with Musgrave or Kraft. Kraft probably already left. Yeah. Oh no, he's down there. Why is he so low? I actually prefer Kraft to Musgrave, and he is. Yeah, that's interesting.
I like Wicks. I like Melton. Like Bo Melton. I dig those guys too.
Right, I'm gonna put Musgrave and I'm gonna put Kraft in here.
Ben Sinnott, the Washington guy.
There's also Jatavian Sanders for the Panthers that I like as well. Super late. But I figure we might as well stack it up if we're gonna.
Sure.
We're up in 4 picks. All right, let's go to actual real picks because none of these guys we're taking right now.
Right.
Well, I guess we could take Musgrave now, but I actually prefer Kraft, so I'm gonna pull him out. Okay. Wicks is there at the moment.
I mean, you're talking my language here.
Yeah, Wicks is there at the moment. Unless Ding Money or AA Meyer are in this call, I think we'll be safe. All right, he took Cooks.
You're talking to me here like I wouldn't be mad at it.
Oh yeah. All right. So we got Wicks. We're good to go there.
Let's go.
So Luis is DMing me in Slack right now while he clearly knows we're in this call. Okay. All right, we're up again. So
all right, who else you digging? Because we're right now at 4 running backs, yeah?
Yeah, we should probably take another. We got Chuba, we got Chandler, no.
No, I mean
do you like any of these running backs?
I mean that's
Miller. That's who I was just gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say Miller. I mean
Ray Davis is kind of interesting.
Ray Davis isn't bad.
And we have Shakir, right?
So parts and pieces of that offense. Ty Chandler, I think, sticks out.
Okay, just Chandler over Davis, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I would take it. Yeah, because you're projecting Ray Davis to have the Latavius Murray role, and then so it's like, which I think makes sense. But for Chandler, I think that's a more projectable role.
Yeah, and you've got Aaron Jones, who is susceptible to being sidelined. I don't want to say the words, but he is susceptible to not playing at times. So I don't hate that pick at all. Yeah.
Oh, Sam was asking in the chat if Zach Moss has already been taken.
No. Yes, he was taken.
Yeah.
His ADP is around 101, so he was taken a while ago. Unfortunately.
I was hoping the Bengals would have taken another running back to kind of shore that up, with at least with higher draft capital. They did take a running back
Right.
with a higher draft capital, but it is what it is.
Okay, Christopher, we have 4 picks left, so we want at least one quarterback and at least one tight end. Are we good with 2 tight ends with Kelsey?
I think I'm good with 2 tight ends with
Okay,
Kelsey.
I am as well. I just wanted to
Yeah.
kind of feel you out. We can get Kraft later, or we can get if someone else like Sanat or Hunter Henry, or
Juwan Johnson.
I was like to say I'm always a sucker for Juwan Johnson.
I actually I wrote him up for as a sleeper tight end, like for a sleeper tight end. I hate that term. As a tight end to target in the late rounds, like for this season. Yeah, I definitely like that.
Yeah, I like that. I do kind of like Kraft though to throw him in there. And we do have, let's see, we have Reed.
Yeah, we double stacked him already.
We have Reed and Wicks, so I guess we don't really need him. We have a triple stack.
That's a luxury.
Yeah,
a luxury pick.
We'll see.
We could get Mike Gesicki.
I know. I'm just gonna breeze right on over that. I would like to get one more wide receiver.
Yes.
I mean,
Darnell Mooney.
He just went. I mean, we're still a ways away. So where are we here? Yeah, we still have the whole turn to go. But let's just at least look through and see who we like.
Corley is interesting.
Yeah, he is interesting, and
his.
He just went.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
we do have Wilson,
seasons, like his last 2 seasons in college, Malachi Corley averaged over like 10 and 8 yards after the catch on average. Like that is ridiculous. Like over 8 and 10 like yards after the catch. Like that is sick.
Some of these guys, we're getting into kind of Grossville clearly, but it's our wide receiver 7, Marvin Mims. I mean, we keep trying to make him happen. I like him as a player. I just don't know what's going to happen there with Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I mean, Demario Douglas is. Demarcus Robinson. Didn't we talk about him?
We did talk about him. I do like me some D-Rob.
Yeah, and all we have is Cup with Stafford. So
yes, so I love double stacking that. That would be an excellent pick.
All right, cool.
I'm saying excellent twice, like Brandon used to do. Michael Wilson.
We're a little early for. I mean, ADP wise, do we care? I mean,
once you get into like the 15th round, I toss ADP like right
I do
out the
too.
window.
Well, I'm usually more on the 16th side.
Scroll up a little bit, like Bateman. Like I still hold a candle for Rashad Bateman. Wandale, not bad.
You want these guys over DeMarcus because we're really only going to get. We only have. Or wait, we have 4. We're up. So, I mean, Rashad Bateman. Oh, he just went. Okay.
Oh, he just went. Yeah.
Wandale, I think is okay.
Let's go ahead and do D-Rob then. That's fine.
I feel like I kind of like Malik Washington too, but I think in this, let's just do that, and then we're okay.
And then do you want to get another running back here, or do you want to wait? Or no, we've got 5. I think
we have 5. Yeah, we need another. We need another. We're gonna take. Okay, we're up. We can get another wide receiver or another tight end. Really, is what we're looking at.
I see J.K. Dobbins right there.
Yeah, ooh. I don't hate that. Let's just put that there for now while we discuss.
Yeah.
Wandale's gone. I mean, Keaton Mitchell. I'd rather go. Yeah, I feel like J.K. Dobbins is a good pick here.
Yeah.
Considering, I mean, that running back room is. I mean, we have. Yeah, it's a little interesting.
Interesting. Okay, so and I see the folks talking about in the chat, but
they are.
OBJ signed with the Dolphins.
Oh, today?
Yeah, like 28 minutes ago.
Goodness gracious, that's been a rumor for what, a month and a half? Like it finally happened.
That is interesting.
And DJ Chark signed yesterday with the Chargers. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so. All right. So right now we're at a point that we're looking at Minshew and either Kraft, or if you want to go with Sanat or Is it Sinote?
Look,
I kind of like
how do
Jatavian
you
Sanders.
pronounce
God.
Senate?
Oh, Senate. That's right. I knew it was something not what I was saying. There's actually a lot. I mean, Derek Carr is still there. Bryce Young is still there. Like, I know we're talking Gardner, but I mean, it's kind of nuts. The
Jawan
quarterbacks.
Johnson and Derek Carr.
Juwan Johnson is gone, I believe.
Oh, somebody took Jawan Johnson.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Dang.
So we're looking at Kraft or Henry, Senate, likely. We don't. I don't believe in Chig this year, unfortunately. That
I
offense
also do not believe in
yeah,
Chigaconquo.
right.
Getting Chiggy with it is dead.
Yeah, it's a bummer. So yeah, I think the three guys we have queued. I mean, we still have forever. So
yeah.
Let me go to the screen with
Sam's talking about Colby Parkinson for the Rams. I think we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, we talked about him a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, there he went. Jawan Johnson went at the early in the 15th. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we just kind of missed it because we were babbling. Well, we have 3 tight ends queued up, so I think we should at least get one of them. I mean, this is the time when people throw darts at tight ends.
Derek Carr. Man.
Yeah, I knew that would happen.
Derek Carr had more 300-yard passing games than Josh Allen last year. Just saying.
That's interesting. The Tyler Conquin Chigaconquo stack, or yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But hey,
and there goes Mike Gesicki. Look at that. They're just scooping up tight end value over there.
Matthew Petrus. Those are his only 2. Okay. I still don't like it. But that's just my opinion. All right, we're a few away.
All right. So who are
we're looking at Kraft, Senate, or Sanders is who I have queued up.
Personally, I prefer Senate.
Okay. I don't hate that. I think the Commanders, I mean, it's kind of we don't know what's going to happen with the Commanders this year, but
I have thoughts.
You do? Go for it.
Oh, I always have thoughts.
Yeah.
Cliff
Thought
Kingsbury,
away, Chris.
Cliff Kingsbury actually does like to use not just 12 personnel, like 2 tight ends on the field, but he actually lines up tight ends in funky spots in order to get his offensive linemen in places in order to create good running lanes for his running backs.
Hold your thought for 1 sec. Do we want Gardner here? Oh, he just went. He just went. Ding money screwed us.
Oh, okay. He knew. So he knew.
So do we want to take Gardner here, or do we want to take the tight end? Because
I'd say just take the tight end and then just lock that up, and then
all right, we got Kraft or Sanders, unless you prefer Likely or Dawson. Not the rest of these guys are.
That would have been strong. That would have been so strong if we'd been able to get Senate.
All right. Kraft's in a better offense.
Sure.
Sanders is a rookie. Yeah. Let's just go Kraft. That's okay. Yeah. All right. So unless Nick takes Gardner, we're done here.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I think Senate also has okay as or fairly solid as a blocker, but also be able to create after the catch. So since the Commanders really have the 2 strong receivers in Dotson and McLaurin, it's just Zach Ertz he has to beat out from a tight end standpoint. I think Senate's a very strong pick, to be quite honest.
Okay. We are done. So let's I guess anyone that wants to enter the Scott Fishbowl, reply, I guess, right now with your favorite pick of ours. Is that what we're doing?
Favorite pick, or who you would have preferred us pick at whichever pick. So I'd say if you can pull up the entire board and then just highlight our picks, or not even highlight, but just click on the little grid thingy.
Yeah.
Oh, then you gotta share that screen now that you blew it up. There we go.
I did. Look at me. Okay. Okay. So
there we go. We got Garrett Wilson. Saquon Barkley was an auto pick for the people saying, for people's context. Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce, Jaden Reed, Roma Dunze, Zamir White, Jordan Love, Trey Benson, Khalil Shakir, Ezekiel Elliott, Matthew Stafford, Dontavian Wicks, Ty Chandler, Demarcus Robinson, J.K. Dobbins, Tucker Kraft, and Gardner Minshew.
Go Packers, apparently. That's what we did here. Okay, so we have people. Okay, Chris, I would like you to wrap up our draft in a nice, pretty package. While you're doing that, I am going to bring up the randomizer wheel and put in all these people's names in it, and then we will randomize on the screen so everybody sees that it is fair and randomized. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say,
you just chat.
Yeah. In summary, going with a 3 quarterback build, like out of like starting with like Jordan Love, like Stafford, and then Gardner Minshew, I think it's solid. The only change like I would have like potentially made is maybe like move Gardner Minshew up and like taking one of the quarterbacks that was taken maybe like a couple rounds earlier. But I think like the theory is sound, right? You have like multiple shots at top 12 upside on a week-to-week basis, so I think that's good. Running back, starting off with Saquon Barkley, and then having, let's see, guys that are going to be in like the top 24 conversation from Zamir White to Zeke Elliott, and of course J.K. Dobbins, assuming he's healthy, also like a solid move. And then we're banking on some upside with Ty Chandler and then like all those other guys. So good value there. Wide receivers, I don't think you need any sort of like analysis there. Starting off with Garrett Wilson, Cooper Kupp, and Jaden Reed. Throw in like Roma Dunze and his upside like on the back end. The rest of the stuff that just kind of falls into place. And then Travis Kelce. Who do we take? Tucker Kraft? Was it Travis Kelce and Kraft?
Yes.
I mean, again, like no problems there. I like the value you're getting now with Travis Kelce now. And it's like, 34, 35, like age, like season. But still getting essentially the Chiefs like wide receiver, like let's say pass catcher one, if you want to take that, and then throwing in Tucker Kraft, who did show like a decent amount of like not just pass catching skills, but they were throwing him out there in routes like fairly often. But that was with Musgrave down, so who's to say like what that offense is going to look like this year with both of them on the field together, like with Jordan Love. But going the like what we did a quadruple stack or like a triple stack with Jordan Love, going ahead like in triple stacking like Jordan Love, who is like primarily a pocket passer. Did the same thing with Demarcus Robinson and Cooper Kupp, like with Stafford, also a pocket passer. I think the approach is sound for those types of guys. And then Gardner Minshew, like with Zamir White, it's like, well, that's not really like a thing or anything like that. But yeah, but at least like just team stacking was the idea there. So I don't hate it at all. Like to be quite honest, I think there's just like some tweaks that could be made along the way. And like the teams we're investing in are teams that we think are like I think most folks would agree are going to be above average in the league. So I think that's not too terribly bad. I think I disagree with folks. I think I disagree with a lot of the folks on this J.K. Dobbins thing. I'm not understanding it. Like the man has had like just like so many injuries like so far. Like
I think he's fine for where we took him, but he's not someone that I'm targeting by any stretch.
Yeah, I guess, okay. And also like especially also having like Gus Bus like in tow as well. I guess I'm not seeing the value in taking a guy like J.K. Dobbins. I mean, J.K. Dobbins is so banged up after he went to the Chiefs, like they instantly re-signed Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So like we're really seeing the value like in drafting a guy like J.K. Dobbins at this point. It's like I don't know.
I definitely disagree with Sam here on the Kraft. If you look at the actual, I actually wrote an article on it earlier this summer, and Kraft had more volume when both of them were on the field. I don't think Musgrave does exist, but I don't think that's a terrible pick at all. I actually prefer Kraft over Musgrave this year, just based on last year's numbers with Love, but to each their own. So that's why they're both in the mix. All right, I have 8 people in this in the thingy, right? So all right, we're gonna in the thingy. All right, I'm gonna share this tab. Are we in there? Okay, we are. I am going to spin, and whoever lands on wins the Scott Fishbowl entry. Hopefully you are, like I said, signed up at scottfishbowl.com because Scott told me that he will not anoint the
go.
All right, here we go.
You're spinning it twice?
No, I only hit it once.
Oh, I was already spinning, so I thought you'd spin.
No, it was just spinning.
Spin it.
Jason Smith,
Woo!
you are officially the winner of the, let's see. All right, Jason Smith, where are you? There you are. Okay, Jason, if you could, I guess throw your email at the bottom of this. If you don't want to do that, you can send it.
DM the Monday Mommy.
You could. That's not my Twitter name
I
anymore.
know it's not your Twitter handle anymore.
So Jason, if you want to, if you want to throw your email here, if not, you can. My DMs are open on Twitter. It's Jen Akins NFL. Actually, it's right there on the screen. So at Jen Akins NFL, send me your email. I will give it to Scott, and he will get you your entry into the Scott Fishbowl 14. Thank you guys so much for. First of all, thank you, Chris, for joining me this morning and fumbling through this Best Ball Mania with me. It was a lot of fun.
We did an excellent job. I thought we just
it was a lot of fun,
winner.
and I think we we can always learn stuff from Chris. He's a walking knowledge of data and statistics. He and I are very yin and yang. I'm the color guy. You're the play-by-play guy. It's how it works. But yeah, so we will see Chris again at some point because he can never get away from us at 4 for 4. It doesn't happen. Never get away. But yeah, and Chris, anything you want to plug over at Matthew Berry Fantasy Life right now for yourself?
Yes, sign up for the free newsletter. Actually, all the stuff over at fantasylife.com is free. So if you like free stuff, you like free analysis, come check it out. It's not just, and if you don't like me and my analysis, since I like Tucker Kraft, for the people that and don't like J.K. Dobbins at his pick. But if you like people that might disagree with me, and there are plenty of people that do, go and check out the wonderful crew we've got over at fantasylife.com. Peter Overzet, Dwayne McFarland, Ian Harditz. I do a show with those last two on a weekly basis. Actually, our latest show, Fantasy Questions Podcast, should be out on YouTube right now. But otherwise, the newsletter, I write that, comes out every Wednesday. Actually comes out every day, but I'm the one that writes the intro, like for the Wednesday edition. We do have like a big project that should be releasing in like the end of June, early July timeframe. So if you follow Matthew Berry, because he has like, 2 million followers or something like that, he'll probably be tweeting about it, or check out the Fantasy Life handle at MB Fantasy Life, and we'll be announcing that here within the next couple of weeks. But other than that, yeah, come and check out the site. We've got plenty of content coming out around Best Ball, Dynasty with the rookie supermodels. Redraft content is probably going to drop here within the next, probably like 6-ish weeks as we start to prepare for the 2024 season. But other than that, so much stuff going on at Fantasy Life. Go and check it out.
And of course, at 4 for 4, we have tons of rookie profiles hidden right now. A lot of stuff up on the site. We have new tools and all that stuff. So be sure to head over to 4for4.com and check all of that out. Also, our partner, Dynasty League Football. It is their huge ramp-up season right now with rookie drafts and whatnot. So if you are not a Dynasty League Football person, let us know or go check it out. Jason, I see you still there. Are you? I assume you're going to DM me your email, because that's the only way to kind of figure that out, because you didn't drop it in here. So I can't find you otherwise. So hopefully you will do that at Jen Akins NFL. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy your lunch. I guess it's probably lunch on the East Coast. Yes. It's only 10 o'clock for me here. Thank you everyone for joining. Hi, Rosie. Hi, everyone else. Have a wonderful day. See you later.
Peace.